So I really did miss the book. I brought it and I was like,
Are you going to miss the bandits? No, we're not allowed. They took out. Here for he's awesome.
I know it's a surprise. That was the best part. There's no bubble gum. It's really not. Right? Hi, Jordan. Gage. Want to get a water bottle from the fridge?
I'm going to have both. And then they'll ask if there's anything you want to say.
Okay.
And then the chairman already.
Sure you did it. I left it over the picture. I told them that they had to. I feel like he should be in the picture. Fair point. Fair. That's what I thought. The ones I've seen all have the family.
Are you touching on the UDOT meeting or is the mayor?
Okay, we'll get going in City Council meeting tonight in Spanish Fork City. Thank you all for joining us. City Council that's here. Hi guys, how we doing? We'll start our meeting off tonight in August 19th, 2025, like we always do in Spanish Fork with a prayer and a pledge. And we've got Councilman Took on the motivational thought or prayer, and Councilman Euler on the pledge. Councilman Took.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. All right, so this evening, something special. I've invited my aunt, her name is Gina Cox, to come join us this evening here in Spanish Fork. She's someone who I've looked up to my entire life. She's not from Spanish Fork, but I thought it would be perfect for her to come here because she knows Spanish Fork, and she's just a great person who not only has she been successful with being a mother and a family and a business owner and a coach and all these different amazing accomplishments, but she's also supported me as I've got involved in civic engagement here in Spanish Fork, and also my aunt, who is the mayor of Provo. So I just wanted to turn the time over and thank you for being here with us this evening, Gina, to share the thought and prayer with us.
Thank you, Randy. I'm so excited to be here tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Can you get just a little closer to the mic so they'll get you on television?
Yes.
Millions of watchers.
Okay. Oh, millions. Oh, okay.
No pressure?
No pressure now.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. I do have the opportunity to work on my sister's mayoral campaign for Provo City. Provo City was just named the best run city in America. And every time she has run, there are so many things that I learn are critical when leading people and relating to others. One of Mayor Kafusi's strengths is that she is such a good listener, and that in turn makes her a great gatherer. She gathers people together and she comes up with resolutions and answers. This is something we can all develop within ourselves. I decided to listen to some people from Spanish Fork. So I asked a few of the citizens of Spanish Fork what they loved about Spanish Fork and what they would change. So we're going to just start with what they would change because everybody had the same answer, and you can probably guess what it was. But they all mentioned that they would change traffic, the amount of traffic and the flow of traffic. But we're going to focus on what they love, and I'm going to read their specific answers. One said, it's so clean, there's no debris in the streets, and it just looks so good. I like how they've been adding more restaurants because I love aubergine. So apparently aubergine's coming to town. One said, I really like that there are not any super tall buildings to block all of our beautiful views. One said, I love the small town feel, sense of community, salt of the earth people live here. And everybody said that I talked to. That was a common answer of what they loved. The number one thing I would like to leave you with tonight is, as you strive to be a good communicator, be a good listener, because being a good listener is critical to being a good leader. I would just like to end with this quote. Wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you would have preferred to talk. I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to pray now. Our Heavenly Father, we're so very grateful to gather this evening, this beautiful building with the citizens and volunteers and council members of Spanish Fork City. Thank you for your blessings and thank you for gathering us. Bless us tonight that we will listen with intent hearts and open minds, that we will also be able to have thy Spirit with us, that we may respond in good ways and we may get a lot accomplished. And we're thankful for everyone that is here, and we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
The Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Took and Councilman Euler. Takes us to the recognition section of our agenda tonight. We're excited for a couple of recognitions that we have tonight. I'm not sure who's doing. Tyler. Mr. Tyler Jacobson.
Thank you, Mayor. Really grateful for the opportunity to present a couple of our employees of the quarter today. What I think I'll do, I'll go ahead and introduce the first one, and then we'll have Rochelle Anderson. We'll introduce Amy Rasmussen from our finance department. The first one I've had the privilege of working with for about the last year. In fact, today we just had his probationary evaluation, and he's officially off of probation. So I'd like to recognize Carson Hardy, who is our assistant to the city manager, as the employee of the quarter.
That'd be super uncomfortable if he didn't pass his probation and he was recognized tonight, huh?
Right, that's a good
interesting.
point.
We would have adjusted.
That is, yeah. We'll have Carson address that here in just a minute. No, but just a few of the reasons why Carson was originally nominated and then chosen as one of our employees of the quarter. So Carson, he's consistently been so thorough and thoughtful and gone the extra mile in so many of the different projects that he's been asked to do. One of the things he gets to do as the risk manager is he gets to ensure that our playgrounds are inspected. And for a time, it was a little bit challenging to track those things. I think we were using a clipboard and paper, maybe another resource. But he has worked with our GIS department and thought, what if we had our GIS department create an app that would be really easy for our parks employees to use for these playground inspections? So he was instrumental in implementing that, and that's been something that I think other cities have even asked about now too, on how they can also have their GIS department create a software that'll do this. Another thing that Carson did is he worked on our workers' comp renewal and ended up saving us over $45,000 over the next 18 months. He's done some in-person trainings for some of our public safety departments after hours so that they can have in-person training versus having to do virtual training with some of our annual training that's required. And he implemented a brand new software. For any of you that, maybe some of you have done this, but implementing a new software is not easy. Carson worked really heavily with with Utah Risk Management Agency to implement a software called Origami that helps us to track all of our incidents within the city. And it allows us to run reports with a couple of clicks and really help to improve our risk management. And then last thing I'll share is you'll see this on the agenda later in our policy updates. One of the policy updates that we have to our personnel policy manual is that there is a requirement for any of our individuals within the city that work with minors that they have specific screenings and background checks and also go through some training. And Carson was instrumental in implementing this policy. This is a requirement from the state. Administratively, it's not easy to implement this because we have to make sure that each of our volunteers, not only our employees, but our volunteers actually have these screenings as well. And so Carson developed a way and used ChatGPT to help him write some formulas in Excel and other ways to track this more easily. And so, as you can see, Carson's gone above and beyond in many, many ways over the past few months and year that he's been with us, and we're just really grateful to have Carson. So with that, if we could have Carson come up.
We better clap while he's coming up.
Anything you want to share with the council?
Yeah, no, I'm just honored to work for the city, honestly. This is my third city that I've worked for, and it's been the best so far in just a year. But I hate being in the limelight, and so I'm going to spread it because I don't want the focus on me. But I just have the best coworkers and the best leadership in the city, and everyone really embraces the mission statement. So I've been empowered and enabled to take innovative approaches. I'll take Tyler an idea and say, hey, what about this? And he kind of just lets me run with it. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, we just reassess and move forward. So there's just a lot of trust in the employees here, and it empowers us to do better and improve. And I'm surrounded by smart people who inspire me. Kim, Cassidy, Jack, Tyler. Seth is one of the best city managers, and he brings me in meetings and really is helping educate me in the field of public administration. And so it's just really a blessing to be here. And I really appreciate the honor of being employee of the quarter, but Spanish Fork City is the city of Utah and the pillar and an example. And so thanks for hiring me. I love it here.
Can I add to that?
Thanks,
Tyler?
Carson. We'll get you
Can
up here
I add
for a
to that
photo
real
later.
fast?
Yeah, please, Stacy.
I was on the interviewing committee for Carson, and I only hired him or suggested a thumbs up because of his accent. So I'm super happy that he's so cool a year later and that he made it through the whole process and that we're keeping him, and he's really smart. So
Thanks, Councilwoman Beck. We appreciate that insight. All right. We'll have Carson back up here in a minute for a picture, but let's, Rochelle, if you'll come up and introduce Amy. And this isn't a surprise. So we actually did surprise these employees earlier. Amy knows she's going to be the employee of the quarter. That's why I already said it, but go ahead.
I'll go first. I'm going to take as much credit for Amy as I can because she's awesome. I was the one that hired her, so I'll try and claim her. Rochelle's her direct supervisor. Amy's so awesome. She got promoted just 3 weeks working into the city. We hired her to sell rodeo tickets, and within that month, she had a job secured in the utility office because she was just blew us away. When you think about like on our employees' mission statement, our goal is to be personable, and that's Amy to a T. She's amazing. Her role right now is handling payroll, and she does a great job with our employees and keeping them happy. The nominations, this is what they said. Amy is always in a good mood. We can request anything at the last minute, and she is so accommodating and is always willing to help out. When employees come in, she always greets them with a smile and treats everyone like a friend. Nomination number 2, I just really want to say how amazing that Amy Rasmussen is and how much she deserves to be recognized. She makes such a big difference, and I don't think people realize how much her job affects us. Her job keeps morale high and allows staff across all departments to stay focused on serving the community without worrying about their paychecks. First of all, she takes care of payroll for everyone. She's so flexible with her own schedule and even her vacations just to make sure we all get paid on time and that everything's correct. A lot of people probably think payroll is boring, but she takes it so seriously because she knows how important it is. She would never let any of us go without our paychecks. If there's ever a mistake or someone has a question, she's always the first one to fix it. And she does it with so much patience. You can just tell she really cares about people, not just numbers on a screen. When employees feel supported and know someone has their back, it strengthens the entire organization's ability to solve problems and serve residents effectively. And then there's the customer service side. I've seen her talk to people who are frustrated or upset. That tends to happen in payroll sometimes. And she's just so calm and kind. It doesn't matter if it's in person, over the phone, or in an email. She is always professional, but also makes people feel heard and respected. That's not easy to do. I found that I can go to her with any question. She'll always take the time to brainstorm with me or track down the answer. She also handles private information with so much care, which I think shows how trustworthy she is. She will always give the benefit of the doubt to our mistakes and is there to help. She does her job so well and never makes a big deal out of it. She doesn't have to be nice, helpful, or dedicated. She could be gruff, unresponsive, lacking in support, and still get her job done. I am nominating Amy Rasmussen as Employee of the Quarter because she promotes Spanish Fork values of respect, integrity, and service. So I'll let Rochelle share a few words as well.
Very good.
It's hard to find much more to say about Amy that is wonderful, but just on a personal note, it is amazing to have someone like Amy work for me. I know I can count on her. I know that, just like Jordan said, no matter what, at the end of a pay period, payroll is going to come out on time. It's going to be accurate. Everyone's going to get paid, even if that means staying late or coming in early or working extra hours. And she's always responsive to any employee question or concern. And I'm just so grateful to have her. Amy makes our office a better, happier place to work, and we just appreciate her more than words can say. So I'm so happy that she's receiving this recognition. Thank you.
Rochelle. Amy, come on up.
Well, I don't even know what to say because all of that is so flattering, and I don't know that it necessarily fits me, but I do try to do everything that was said about me, and I have a great support system where I work, and with the council and with Seth and Tyler, everybody, and I could second everything that Carson said. This is just a great place to work, and I'm glad that I am here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy.
Thanks, Amy. Congratulations.
All right, if we could get Carson and those from his office that want to come up, and then also Amy and your office and family if you want to come up for a picture right after. Jack's really good at these pictures, so. Oh, he's going to be in it. Like I said, he's really good at these pictures. You'll see.
Both.
This is.
Come on up, Carson.
Yes. Wow. Selfie this. Man, I wish I would have known I was dressed up.
No, you wouldn't.
Take that diploma down and put that up.
Oh, you said earlier.
Where'd Seth go?
Thank you, Carson.
Where did he go?
Oh, we have one more. Where did he go?
Hey. Very well deserved. Yeah. Picture time, boys. Picture time.
This may get you out of a family photo for a little bit.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Amy.
Appreciate it.
Congrats, Amy.
Let's give both those employees another round of applause. Shane might talk more about this during his council comments, but when the commission from UDOT was sitting up here having their meeting, they read our mission statement there, and then they commented, "You've got wonderful employees," and so they only spent a couple of days with a lot of our employees, but those are a couple of people that are living the mission statement in Spanish Fork, and it's being noticed. So thank you to you and your families. Appreciate that. Okay, we're to item D, follow up to previous comments. This is usually Seth's portion here. He's left the building.
Slide down and pretend to be Seth.
Yeah, you can pretend. Yeah, I think the only thing on this was D.R. Horton and Quiet Valley. And it sounds like a couple of councilmen had some meetings with D.R. Horton, and as well as our city manager. I don't know if you guys are prepared to
speak on that.
Yeah, if you want to kind of, if you remember the
Seth's back.
description of it, is some problems in the neighborhood there where an HOA is, where the city really doesn't have the jurisdiction due to some changes in state law.
We had a resident that came last council meeting. His concern was that D.R. Horton's getting ready to turn the HOA over to the residents, and they feel like there are a few outstanding issues that they're trying to get resolved before that happens, so they're approaching the city to see how the city could help. So the city staff put together a meeting with a couple of employees from D.R. Horton today, which we were able to talk to them and address some of the issues that are outstanding and kind of see what the status is. They were great to listen, great to share their thoughts and what they're doing to try and resolve and fix these issues before. One of the things that they mentioned was that they would be happy to meet with the residents that live in that development and postpone the turnover to next spring if that's what those residents want. But they've got some individuals that they meet with that live in Quiet Valley that they'll propose that idea and see if that's what the residents want to do. But they are, based on the meeting, they are working to resolve these issues that the citizens have brought before the city.
I think adding to that is that the citizens of Quiet Valley should be receiving communication from them here shortly about like some of those options or some of those things to help address those issues too.
Yeah. Seth, anything else that we wanted to bring up on that?
I think you said something about the advisory board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they've got
and
an
that was
advisory
something we
board.
didn't know about. So they've got an advisory board they'll refer to as well and communicate on. I think they said first part of next week the residents in that area should expect to hear something from them and outline a couple of possibilities that they can give some direction on, and they're happy to make things work out.
Yep. So yeah, hopefully between those residents and between D.R. Horton and everyone involved, they can get everything taken care of to make everybody's happy and satisfied, or at least the best way possible.
And I think adding to this, I think it's helpful maybe to know they reached out to us. I don't know what, Dave. They reached out to us right after we were gonna reach out to them, but they reached out to us after council meeting. They had watched the council meeting, at least the portions where they were the subject of discussions, and were really quick to set that up, want to visit, and so we appreciate their responsiveness.
Yeah.
See, I'm not lying. Millions of viewers.
Millions.
Thank you. Appreciate that update. Thanks for being part of that meeting. Any other follow-up to other comments, manager, that we had, or was that the only one on tonight?
That's the only one I have notes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, takes us to public comment section of the agenda. This is where anybody from the public could come up and address the mayor and council about any subject. Please feel free to come up, and Jack usually has her 3 minutes up if you can try to keep it to 3 minutes. But anybody that would like to address the mayor and council, please feel free to come up and state your name and do so.
Hi, I'm Valerie Mills, and I'm running for City Council. Thanks to Tara for her updates and the thorough job she does. And I also appreciate Matt Johnson being available to answer my questions, Seth over the phone or in person, Jordan sending an email, Kevin, your email, thank you so much. I really appreciate the dialogue and being able to, and Marlo Smith also helped educate me as your water expert. So I want to thank the city. One thing in particular that I really am grateful for is our alcohol-free rodeo. I think that's remarkable in every way. And from a little background, past experience, in about 2005, I lived in Bountiful. And in hindsight, I can see the pinch that our city leaders were in. There was a development, there was new development and growth, and we wanted to be fair. And a business leader who'd been in business since 1974 was relocating. He'd built a beautiful new restaurant. It happened to be right by our library. There was a middle school there as well, or a junior high. And so as they tried to finalize this, they realized that they weren't going to be able to give him a new alcohol license in that location because of the 600 feet. And so city leaders held a city council meeting. It wasn't noticed as it should have been. There was no public notice. And those city leaders went forward, granted an alcohol variance to him. And when I went in to talk to the city manager, he was pretty upset and said, no one uses that crosswalk and this law doesn't matter. Leaders of Mothers Against Driving Drunk, Art Brown and his wife Janie, educated me and said, this does matter. Social norms matter. Teenagers notice their willingness to drink is affected by these things. Then I talked to the police chief, and he said, you know, that's a fallacy that no one uses that crosswalk. There are junior high students from Mill Creek Junior High that use that crosswalk every afternoon, and there was a woman killed in that crosswalk. So that experience gave me my number one priority as far as choosing leaders, and it's public trust. And it really means a lot when we just feel like there's honest communication and things are done openly and honestly. So I would just ask that the inland port really be called an inland port, because apparently there's, that's just important. Truth is truth, and I think it should be called an inland port. There's going to be airplanes going over that, freight, rail, and I am an employee at BYU. Kent Gee, Department of Physics Chair in Astronomy, just spoke in June. It's online about the debilitating effects of noise pollution, you know, if we're going to have airplanes and rail going over. So I just ask you to please continue to stand for the citizens like you stood up for that young father, Justin, who was here last time, and really go to bat for him to stand up to the developers and do what you can for the citizens who live here. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Valerie.
Hello, Spanish Fork. We are the Constitution Live Youth Council of American Preparatory Academy. We are pleased to address the City Council today. We are a team of students who have joined the Constitution Live organization to inspire schools, clubs, associations, and city governments to plan readings of the Constitution and/or Bill of Rights. Constitution Live endeavors to help all groups to host their own Constitution Day reading in person or through a live streaming recording that can be replayed and shared all year. You can learn more about our organization and initiatives at constitutionlive.com. Last year, the Kiwanis Club hosted a Constitution reading, and we want to acknowledge and express our appreciation to council member Kevin Euler for reading the Constitution with us, and thank you again. We are here to invite you to participate in our annual Constitution Day reading held at American Preparatory Academy Salem campus Each year, our schools celebrate Constitution Day on September 17th by reading the full Constitution. It only takes 45 minutes. Salem campus will be reading the Constitution at 9 to 10 a.m. We would love to have some special guests read some of the parts that day. If this is something you'd be interested in, please email our advisor, Elizabeth Jukes, and we will give you more information. You can find our information on this flyer. In addition to this special invitation, we would like to take the opportunity to invite the city to plan their own Constitution reading sometime in the future. If you're interested, please let us know and we'll get it scheduled for you. All we need from you is a venue and publicity to promote the event. As the Constitution Live Youth Council, we are always looking for cities in Utah who would want to work with us to host a reading of the Constitution in their own community. Our council is happy to help you with your events or just attend if you decide to run it on your own. I am your appointed youth council representative, and I'm happy to answer any questions or give any assistance needed.
Good job.
You must have timed
Good
that
timing.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Well done.
Tell us your name.
Patrick Anderson.
Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. That was very good. Any questions for Patrick?
Thank you.
Very cool. Good job.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Well, we got you up here since you read that so well and gave us some good information about reading the Constitution, and we'll make sure to reply to the email so we can see if at least a couple of us can make it to be there and help read. We'd love to do that. But while you're here, would you like to shake the chief's hand and shake everybody's hand and get a picture with us while you're here? That took all night to be here. That'd be pretty cool, don't you think? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, start right there. You guys can come too. Good job. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Patrick, good job. Thanks for being here with us. You too.
Stand right up here and they'll get a picture of you right here. Thanks for coming and visiting our meeting. We appreciate it.
Go first. You want to do that?
Sure. Right. 1, 2, 3. Scroll it.
Okay, now smile even better. A little bit to the left. Nice. Thanks, guys.
One more.
Someone's got to get pictures.
You bet. Thank you, Mom.
Thanks, you guys, for
Thank
coming.
you, guys. Appreciate it. Some good stuff happening in September there, and this is one of them. Okay, anybody else with public comments that would like to come up to the mayor and council? Seeing none, we'll go to council comments, and we'll start on this end, if that's all right, Councilman Took. Of
course.
And finish this way with Councilman Marshall.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. So this evening, I have 6 points from the Chamber of Commerce to share with you. They're the big takeaways from our meeting this past week, and so I will just get to it. And in case you didn't know, or some of you may be new, the Chamber of Commerce is the organization here in the city comprised of local business leaders who help take care of all the business community. We have such an amazing business community with restaurants and banks and everything, you name it. They're part of that group. So anyway, from them, a couple things. So like I mentioned, we had a meeting last week that was a board of directors meeting that covered a lot of really important things. One first item of business is that there's a grand opening. It's actually a re-grand opening for the Levitt Group tomorrow, so Wednesday at 12 o'clock noon at their location. Also, There will be what's called the Noon Networking Luncheon on Thursday at the Hampton Inn Hotel here in town. That will be sponsored by Mountain Mike's Pizza and Shepherd's Carpet. So that's noon on Thursday, noon networking event. They're amazing. We also have a free Women in Business event on September 3rd at 12:30 p.m. It's a gathering for organizing class, which is taught at the Protection Self-Storage location here in Spanish Fork. And then also on September 4th, from 5 to 7 p.m., they are hosting another business after-hours event at Rasmussen Jewelers' new location. If you know where they're at, well, currently they're right by Vasa on the west side. They're now on the opposite side of that development in a larger location where the Who Hut used to be. So that's where they're at. It's actually, the remodel is complete. I just drove by and saw that today. There'll be a lot of good food and fun going on, networking games, giveaways, prizes, things like that. So definitely check it out. Again, that's for, that's on, excuse me, 1 second, there we go. That's on the 4th from 5 to 7. For Rasmussen Jewelers. The last item of business regarding the Chamber of Commerce is just, well, there's two things. First of all, we have the farmers market that's going on Saturdays just outside, so check it out in the mornings. And then the last item is on October 16th from 6 to 8 p.m., just right here in the room right across from where we're at right now. We will be holding the Meet the Candidates event for the current city council elections. In the Heritage Room. So, yeah, if you have any questions about any of those things, please reach out to me, and I would love to help and answer those for you. And that's all I have, Mayor.
I missed that day. I think these guys missed that day on the Meet the Candidates as well.
October 16th, yeah.
10:60.
6 to 8 p.m.
10:60.
So if you're part of that, definitely write it down, and please, everyone, come support us that evening.
Perfect. Thank you, Councilman Took. Councilman Cardin.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. First, I wanted to thank our police department and our fire and EMS for the safety night out. I think it was a week ago Monday. Such a good night. It's a cool opportunity for kids to go and meet some police officers and firefighters, some real heroes, and get to play in the cars and stuff. So I know there's a lot of time and effort, overtime effort that's put into that. So thank you for doing that. Second is, Jack, if you want to pull up that website. One of the boards I serve on is on the airport board, and we had initiated or instituted a landing fee at the airport starting on, I think it started on August 1st. There's been some maybe communication, misknown things about it, but I wanted to, Christian put together this page that just goes, if you can scroll down a little bit, it just goes over what the landing fees are for, who they're assessed to, how much they are, and then there's also some FAQs at the bottom. One of the things I wanted to point out is that if you are a base airplane here in Spanish Fork under, I think it's 5,000 pounds, if I remember correctly, yes, you have a free landing every day. Well, that was one of the things that was important to us as a council, just to make sure that our base craft here were taken care of. But again, there's a lot of maybe reasons why this is happening, why that's out there. I just want to make sure to point you to this. This has real answers. It also has some contact information that you can go to find out more information about it, or talk to Christian. He's always willing to talk about that. And I am always willing to talk as well. So, and Councilwoman Beck as well, because we serve on that together. Second, or the last thing that I have, Mayor, is I want to invite Heidi up here to introduce our new Muse City Council leadership for the 2025 to 2026 year. So come on up. Gonna put you to test here.
I have my list this year so that I'll actually remember. Okay, so our mayor this year could not make it, but her name is Clara Martin, and she is amazing. Our mayor pro tem is McKinley Rice-Camp.
Come on up.
Come on up. And as they come up, some of them have some stuff for you guys. So,
Sweet.
Yeah. Our recorder is Kaylee Grange.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Historian is Taylor Took. Our public information officer is Jasmine Castaneda. Planning Commission officer is Landon Beeston. Our activities committee chair is Harley Roberry, and her committee consists of Savannah Harper, who is here, and Jacob Zog, who wasn't able to come, and then our service officer is Owen Young. So these are just 10 of the 60-plus youth that we deal with, yes. Some days it's like that are on Youth City Council. They're amazing. They love service. And anything else you want to know?
No. And will you also talk about your other leadership to help you do your role as an adult over this group?
So I am an advisor for Youth City Council, and we have 4 others with us: Becca Larson, Laurie Dell, Allison Jennings, and Jacoy Baird.
Yes, thank you, and thank you for all that they do to help us. Mayor, we have given you a piece of paper to swear them in because they aren't official yet. So
let's make it official.
No pressure, guys.
No backing out now.
So you tell us the best angle. How do you want them? Just like that? Right there. All right. Okay, so we'll say this all together, but you all have different names. I don't know if you noticed that. And so we'll start from this end and have you say your name, your name, your name, your name, and then we'll finish the rest. I'll be Sarah. Okay. Just your right hand to your square. It's not that bad. So, okay. Everybody, right hand to your square like this. Yep. Okay. And then I. Now all together. Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will, to the best of my ability.
That I will, to the best of my ability.
And with the highest level of integrity.
And with the highest level of integrity.
Serve as a member of the Spanish Fork Youth City Council.
Serve as a member of the Spanish Fork Youth City Council.
Executive Board.
Executive Board.
I will represent the youth.
I will represent the youth.
Of our community.
Of our community.
With respect, dedication, and service.
With respect, dedication, and service.
And I will preserve, protect, and defend.
And I will preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Utah.
And the Constitution of the State of Utah.
All right, congratulations.
And then let's have you stand up here in front and we'll get a picture with the council here.
Arms, there we go.
You ready?
We need more pictures like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, now I gotta get
Yep.
Get out of the way, Jeff. We just about pushed you over.
Thank you.
Good job, you guys. Thanks for serving. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Cardin. Chief, they did the oath better than most of our officers did. Yeah.
He took note. He's like,
Okay, now to Councilman Euler.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to take a moment to share our love and support to the community of Tremonton with what they're going through. Sorry, I didn't want to get emotional. But as I thought about it, I just can't imagine telling my spouse goodbye in the morning, having them go to work and never come home. So, to the police officers that serve the community of Spanish Fork, thank you. We love you and we support you, and we absolutely appreciate everything you do. So thank you. That's all I've got, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Euler. Councilwoman Beck.
I do not have anything tonight. Thanks.
Okay. Councilman Marshall.
couple things. So the primary is almost over, not completely certified yet, but getting very close. I want to thank all the candidates for running. Putting your name in that hat and putting yourself out there is not fun sometimes. It's difficult. So for those that ran and actually ran, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. I encourage everyone out there who wants to, who's thinking about it, put their name in it, run, and actually do the running. Get out there, talk to people, find out what the issues are, and most of the candidates did, and thank you for doing that. It's really appreciated. Last Friday, it was a cool event for me. I don't know how cool it is in general. If you're a transportation nerd, it's super cool, and I am one of them. So the Utah Transportation Commission was here in Spanish Fork, and they are a board appointed by the governor that sets the priority, excuse me, for all the projects within UDOT. They approve funding for every project that UDOT puts together. So if they don't say yes to something, you don't get the funding. And they were in our community. They go around the state every month and have their meeting, and they listen to the communities that they are in. So they meet formally on Friday. On Thursday, they go on a bus tour, and Seth went on with them on the bus tour. Got to see all of our issues. And then on Friday, Mayor Mike spoke to them and really sent the message of, we have some needs, but we are not just asking for something, we are helping you to develop and execute on those needs. The partnership that Mike walked through was very, very good. And so in my prior life, I was one of the staff members that helped put this on and answer questions at this every month throughout the year. And very rarely do you go to a city and a city says, more often than not, they say, we need. And Mayor Mike and Seth put together a PowerPoint that said, we're here with you as a partnership to solve transportation problems within the city and within the county. I think it was very well received and something they don't get very often from local communities. And so thank Mike and thank Seth for hosting. Like Mike said, that they read our motto back there, and they're like, yeah, this is something we can get into. They were impressed by it. They're impressed by the city, impressed by the staff. I'm thrilled that they came and we were able to share with them all the things that we're working on. So thank you, Mayor, for coming out and doing that, and thank you, Seth. Really appreciate that. With that, that's it for me.
Perfect. Thank you, Councilman Marshall, and thank you for being there as well. It was cool to witness your kind of full circle moment too.
It was a weird day. I mean, so when my first professional career was with UDOT. I worked for the city before that, but I started down south end of Maine for UDOT, and throughout my career worked in various places and worked for the region that Spanish Fork's a part of, and then I sat right there as a staff member every time the council or the commission met and had to answer questions from irate council members that would come and present, and to be in front of them on the other side of that after 25 years or 30 years of service was a weird day. Mm-hmm. It was a weird day. It was really cool, and yeah, I couldn't be more proud of our city at that point. It was awesome.
Well, thank you for those connections, and thank you for being there to make that connection on an important day too. It was very well received. I will just piggyback on that a little bit. The commissioners in the state of Utah for UDOT are appointed by the governor, right? So they go through rotations every couple of years, 4 years, something like that?
I think it's 6.
They served for about 6 years. Some of them I recognized. One was a former mayor of Orem that was the chair. Natalie Gochner is an economist in the state of Utah, very well respected in her field. And speaks all over the state and the nation about different things. But she's a commissioner of UDOT, which I think is a cool thing because you're getting a lot of wisdom from her that way. But you can find it on YouTube if you look at it. Their last meeting, it was recorded here, and they commented on how well Travis and SFCN and the staff were to be able to make it seamless. Shane let me know after that they do not always meet in council chambers. Sometimes it's in just less than that circumstances, and sometimes audiovisual stuff is tough, and so we put on a good place for them to meet and welcome them. And Natalie specifically just commented how well they were taken care of by our city staff, shown around for a day before that, and commented on everybody that they've met in our city. So way to put on a show to, I think, some important people. The thing about Spanish Fork is and you mentioned it's not a show. It is who we are, and taking care of people, and we did that day. So thank you to everyone involved in that. The Fit City Center, I want really quick. Boy, it's exciting. You can see it with the lights on now. So you drive by when it's dark, and just a little bit of light in there, right, Dale? It's not turned up to 10. But I don't know. It's a 1, something in there. A few of the lights are on for safety purposes. And Dale was kind enough to take a group of folks through about a week and a half ago now, and answer some questions and walk through it. And I'm telling you, you should be so proud. When you walk in that building, walking in it now is completely. I don't know. I don't have words. I'm proud of what it's become and what it will be. But you can now catch the vision, and you can really envision youth and kids and families in there being together, and so it's so fun to see. We're on schedule, trying to get this done in the fall for everybody to cut a ribbon. So please stay away for just a little bit still while they're wrapping things up. But as some basketball flooring's going down pretty soon, anything else you want to give an update on there, Dale, or we just want to keep everybody in suspense? Because I'm fine with that too. It's pretty cool. Yeah. A lot of the exterior glass that you can see, some interior glass going in. This building and the flow of it, and the people that Dale took on a tour of it, and I caught the tail end of. We're just amazed, and coming together with the businesses that are signing up members of their organizations. We had a moment last council meeting where health insurance provider, we made a commitment with them. And so a lot of the people that took that tour were older folks that really are paying for their membership through their health insurance, and so their health insurance is reimbursing them because they know how important that is for them to be in a place and be healthy with each other. So very cool. We'll post some more updates, Jack, on the website as it gets closer, and so keep close to that and our social media pages. I think there's some really neat pictures coming up, and you can see we're getting close if we're asking for part-time lifeguards to come start interviewing. So I had the question today posed to me, are there any pools? Does it have a pool? I said, does it have a pool? And they were kind of, well, it's just Aria. That's asking. And I said, it had three indoor and 3 outdoor. Yeah, it's got pools, it's got a lot of pools, it's got a lot of water. But we're getting close when we're hiring lifeguards. So keep close to social media if that interests you as well. Yes, Dale.
Somebody just mentioned that we're having a part-time job fair next Monday.
25th, right?
1 to 7.
Uh-huh.
On the road. Anybody that might be looking for a part-time.
Will you turn your microphone on so people can actually hear you say that? Yeah. Okay. We want them to hear this.
Travis is the one.
There we go.
Hey,
That's
Travis.
Dale Robinson.
Yeah, we're having a part-time job fair next Monday from 1 to 7 p.m. Nice, Jack. We'll keep you. That's great. So anybody that might be interested in a part-time job in the rec center, that's the time to come and visit with all the different divisions. We'll have representation down there at the Ponderosa at the fairgrounds. We'd love to talk to you. So yeah, we're in the process of hiring lots and lots of people. It's a big building, lots of window washers, and other things.
Yeah.
Mike, if I could ask,
you bet.
Councilman Euler, what's the feeling down at the Senior Citizen Center about this transition?
So they've been on break, so I've not been back in the senior center since summer got out. They had their first lunch this past week. We did meet as a board. The board is so excited. Every single board member is hyped about it. They keep asking. In fact, they were asking Nick at our board meeting again, when? What's the date? Give us a day that we can be down there. They're anxious. Nick's just kind of guaranteed, not guaranteed, that they'll be there for their Christmas dinner is the hope. But some things are out of our control as far as construction goes. But they're excited. I know the board members are very excited.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you for that.
Dale knows how to give tours, and so I learned from him and walked a couple other people a few days after that tour, and we started at the senior center entrance. There is a senior center entrance there that I think a lot of seniors are excited about, even though you're sharing a 135,000 square foot building with a lot of things in it. You've got your own entrance, your own area that is the senior center there, but flows right into them being able to go to a pool workout or walk on a treadmill or play some pickleball. And I was impressed. That was the first time I'd been through the senior center when it's that far done. And boy, it's gonna work out so well for our senior community. So Dale was trying to recruit some people that weren't in the seniors program already, that they should be in the seniors program. So he was doing double duty, and it's very well. So great question. Lastly, thank you, Councilman Euler, for mentioning that about our city of North Tremont and what a tragedy. Mayor Holmgren reached out to him to offer our condolences and anything we can do, and mentioned the chief and Seth as well, and we're ready and willing and able to facilitate any fill-in we need for certainly their time of need in that tragedy, and thoughts and prayers certainly are with those families and that whole department, but not just that, but our actions as well. Anything, Chief, that you want to speak of to that nature?
No, we've reached out to him, and Lieutenant Slaymaker was actually up there today. He's helping coordinate some funeral with the funeral procession and planning that. They're anticipating next week sometime, but he'll be back up there again tomorrow helping them coordinate that, where he assisted last year with Sergeant Hoser's funeral. So FOP reached out and asked if we could help, and they're really appreciative of our support, as well as all the other agencies throughout the state that have stepped up to help them in their time of need. So our thoughts are with them.
Thank you, Chief.
Mayor, I wish that, just to add, I wish that Corey wasn't, I wish that he wasn't good at this, but I am so grateful that he is. When Sergeant Hoser's tragic circumstances happened down in Santa Quinn, he was there, and a number of our officers went down, and he spent a lot of time helping them. And when Chief said that they had asked for Corey, I think they asked for Corey by name, right? I was just really proud of our people, proud of Corey for developing what I think has to be one of the hardest skill sets, that somebody could have to deal with. And really proud of Corey, and I know our people, if there's an opportunity, we have the chance, we'll go up there. We're kind of far removed from going up to do maybe some patrol work in and around Tremont or Brigham City. But if that opportunity arises, we'll fill it.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Seth. Okay, that's all I have for council comments. Anything else, council, that we need in front of this body now? Okay, takes us to the staff reports section. Any staff reports?
I'm going to share just one thing for our Public Works Director, Corey Pierce. He's not here today. I'm going to dedicate this next paragraph of words to Councilman Marshall. I think he's going to like I think he's going to like this the most.
Another pun. Please.
Probably not.
Okay, good.
We can smell a change in the air at the new wastewater treatment facility, and it smells like pride and progress. This week marks a new flow in our city's history when the wastewater reclamation facility received its first flush. For those involved, it's a big relief. After 6 years of planning and 4 years of construction, we are flush with excitement to get started.
That's so good.
It is. Don't encourage it. Don't encourage it, right?
Yeah.
So just a couple of images. Let me give some background.
You're young people here.
I don't think I said anything out of line, and I think he loved it.
They like
You
pot,
loved
they
it, didn't
like
you?
pot.
Yeah, he was all
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
He and I, we're both kids. We speak the same language. Teenage boy. Sewer treatment, in all seriousness, follows the biology of our stomachs, which is amazing. And in order to treat sewage, you use digestive processes exactly that are mimicked from our stomach. And so to start the sewer treatment plant, literally, it's a jump start type of a process. You can't just say go and it does what it does. You have to jump start it, or we'll use the term seed. You have to seed it. You have to start it. And so this truck is one of a couple hundred trucks that will deliver, I think it's 100, maybe it's, anyways, 36,000 gallons of sewage that will be transported from Santa Quinn to here. They have really happy bugs there. And the green tube that goes up and over, it's an optical illusion. That's not plugged into the truck. The green tube that goes down kind of towards the cement, that's carrying sewage, dumping it into our sewer treatment plant. And like I said, there's dozens and dozens of these trucks, 36,000 gallons of them over the course of a couple of weeks. Go ahead, next one. So this is a microscopic view of some of the bugs, the microbes, that actually help clean the water. And so these bugs eat the bad stuff, and that's their purpose, and they help clean the water that way. And it's a fantastic process. If you want to learn more about it, I'd be happy to talk to you afterwards, not on the microphone. Next image. Right now, there's we have 3 main sewer lines that come into the sewer treatment plant. The sewer treatment plant in this image is on the top right part of the image, off the image, top right. And there's a sewer line coming down 200 East, and we actually went past the point of no return. You can see, if you'll highlight the dudes working by the second power pole there. Yeah, there's a trench that's cut open right there, and the sewer line that is underground has been exposed, cut, and they're rerouting that line right now, at least in this image, to the new plant. In the meantime, because the plant's not ready to actually treat the waste, those big tubes that are over the road, they're being pumped to the old sewer treatment plant. And for a couple of hours every day, somebody literally is turning a crank and moving sewage with that crank, some going into the new plant, and it will fill up and help seed the process, and then they'll stop diverting and all of it will go to the old plant, and then the new plant's just getting started. It's like pushing a car, getting it started slowly, slowly, slowly. This process takes about 3 or 4 weeks. I think we're going to skip the next 2 pictures and go right to the 5th one. Yep, there we go. Those other pictures we might call inappropriate for this meeting. This picture, so maybe one of the recent times you guys were at this sewer treatment plant, this was blue water. It will never, ever be blue again. For the rest of time, it will be more of this color. Basin where water's flowing through the process and settling out, etc. And I think that's it. So our wastewater reclamation facility, 6 years in the process, 4 years in construction, is perhaps 3 weeks, maybe a month away from full operation, to where we would divert all of the flow from Spanish Fork to it from the old wastewater reclamation facility.
Is there a ceremonial flush happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many people will want to attend that one, but yeah. We'll know more when we get closer to actual first contact. But
serves both communities of Spanish Fork and Mapleton.
Yep.
I assume there were some
Joint
Mapleton
facility.
Public Works people on hand to witness it. And
joint facility shared between the 2 communities, paid for by both communities, and a great asset for the regionality of what we do. Yeah. That's all the staff reports we have.
Thank you, Seth. Appreciate that update. Okay, takes us to consent items on our agenda. We have consent items A through G on here. Any questions on any of those from the council? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent items.
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman Beck.
Second.
Second by Councilman Marshall. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Consent items are approved. Takes us to new business. There's A, B, and C tonight. The first one is resolution for the personnel policy update. Mr. Tyler J. Jacobson. It's not J. Tyler what? Tyler P. Jacobson. That's
You're
right.
good.
Got it.
All right. There's a couple of the policies I just wanted to shine, I guess, more of a spotlight on. Most of what you see before you is either general cleanup or some requirements that have been handed down from either the federal government or the state, and so we've had to make some changes there. One in particular change that we made is we replaced a whole section in our workers' compensation policy. The purpose of that really was to provide some clarity when sometimes we'll have employees that will be injured and it will require them to be away from work for a time, or it will require that they be given modified or light duty. And we haven't really had anything in our policy that clearly addresses what can be done when they're on light duty. And so the changes that we've made here, one of the intents is to make it easier for them to understand what steps they need to take in order to get back to work and what options are out there. One thing in specific is our fire and EMS department. We, for the first time, had someone that was on modified duty, and when you're on light duty, sometimes you work in another department, or you'll need to work different hours. If you think about a firefighter, their schedules are they work 48 hours straight, then they're off for 96 hours. And so if they're working in another department, that's pretty challenging to find a place they can go where they work 48 hours straight. So in this new policy, it talks about, it says 4896 employees, which are our firefighters, who are unable to perform fire and EMS duties will be placed on a 40-hour work week schedule while on transitional duty and will accrue leave time at the 40-hour work week rate and until they're able to return to full duty on a 4896 schedule. And so anyway, it just clarifies some of the requirements for different employees that may end up on light duty. It also talks about what happens if there is an employee that's off on what's called an indemnity claim. That's a claim where they can't work at all during that time because of the injury. And so they're receiving a check from our workers' compensation insurance. And it outlines in the new policy how that would be paid. Any questions on the workers' comp policy? The other one that I wanted to highlight was one that I mentioned earlier when we brought Carson up. This is one that we're implementing to comply with Utah code and has some new requirements for working with minors. There's, as I mentioned before, some additional training that's required for any employee or any volunteer for the city that will be involved directly or where there'll be recurring interaction with minors. And there's also some additional screenings that they are required to go through now. Any questions on that, or any other questions on any of the policies that are before you?
Questions for Tyler on these?
Red lines help.
Red
Help? Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Okay, if there's no questions for item A, I'd entertain a motion for the resolution for personnel policy update.
I move to approve the personnel policy update.
Motion made by Councilman Cardin.
Second.
Second by Councilman Took. A roll call vote here. Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Councilman Took.
Yes.
And Councilman Cardin.
Yes.
Item A is approved. Takes us to B, ordinance amending the Spanish Fork Municipal Code pertaining to the state fire code and making various amendments. Mr. Vaughn Pickell.
Mayor and Council, this ordinance would make some amendments to our code, the city code, by making the correct reference to the state fire code that the legislature has adopted for us. We had an outdated reference to a different standard code in ours. And it would also reposition that adoption to Title 8 from Title 14. Right now it's shared with the building code. So this one would put all those fire code references into one title on its own. So you'll see the deletions from Title 14 and then the additions to Title 8 in your ordinance. Beyond that, there are some new provisions as well that are added. I'll just highlight just top level for these. It makes it unlawful to obstruct or to hinder fire or EMS personnel as they're responding to an emergency. It makes it a requirement to yield to the fire and EMS as well. It gives the fire and EMS authority to use water sources in an emergency and to blockade streets. Makes it unlawful to damage fire and EMS property or to drive over a hose, and allows the fire and EMS department to have authority to sign and mark different fire apparatus access lanes. And then also it has the regulations for requiring a quick, I think it's called quick access key box, or a Knox box, you might have heard is the brand name, to different types of buildings and structures that need that. And then finally, it combines one section for enforcement and penalties rather than multiple. That is the basic summary of the changes here to the code. Any questions on those?
Okay. On the changes to you making it illegal to run over a hose or those type of things, who has the enforcement authority on it? Is it still?
Because we're adopting them as part of our code, I think we would have police do the citation and cite that section of the code.
Okay, it doesn't transfer that responsibility to fire and EMS.
No, I think it's much better to have the police that are trained and used to citing people and not have to get into the firefighters. They're probably busy with something else at that time. So
okay, let's check.
Is it safe to say, chiefs, that if there's a fire, somebody's close by, right? And so, yeah, I think you have access to somebody that they could turn that over. I think Chief Hales' people are going to be focused on fighting the fire, and they can be like, police officer to the fire, and then they would have him do that. It sounds like clean up on aisle 2. It must have been the sewer treatment plant. I'm sorry. I'm going to back down. I'm just going to go ahead and reel it back.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Chief, are you seeing? I know we'd never want to see something burn up, but we've seen some calls recently of things on fire, and that gets people excited to go look at them. Have you seen an increased ability, or I guess, people looking that are getting in the way of your emergency vehicles and things like that? I guess that's always an issue, but we're more population now. Has it become a bigger issue? Okay. But your direction would be stay away. We're trying to put it out. Yeah. All right. Anything else on these ordinance changes? Thank you, Vaughn. If there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion for item B.
I move to approve the ordinance to the Spanish Fork Municipal Code pertaining to the State Fire Code and making various amendments.
Motion made by Councilman Euler.
Second
by Councilman Marshall. A roll call vote here. Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Cardin.
Yes.
Councilman Took.
Yes.
And Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Okay, that's approved. Item C, ordinance amending section 836020 of the Spanish Fork Municipal Code pertaining to hazardous materials cleanup and recovery of costs.
This ordinance, Mayor and Council, is just deleting one sentence that would give the fire department the authority to charge for the expenses of personnel and equipment and consumable resources as they respond to a hazmat incident. The Just allow them to do that billing and recover those costs. It's expressly authorized by the Utah State Code that local governments can adopt an ordinance providing for that recoupment of cost. So.
One change.
Makes sense.
Any questions on this one?
I don't know if it's helpful, maybe, Chief, to give a circumstance or kind of the realities. When we go on certain hazmat incidents, a lot of times we are there for 12 to 24 hours because it takes that long to bleed out a propane tank that's leaking or deal with spills that are flowing into some kind of a waterway or whatnot. And so because there's a flammable liquid that's still exposed, we can't leave the scene. And these are extraordinary. This is not something that is like your house is on fire and we can bill you for that. But these are extraordinary and very, very difficult and usually probably very preventable. And so somebody's done something that is beyond reasonable, and now the community, instead of putting all of the expense on the community, we're saying if we can, we'll bill some of this out to those responsible parties.
Makes sense. Questions about that? No questions. I'd entertain a motion for item C.
I move to approve the ordinance amending section 8.36.020 of the Spanish Fork Municipal Code pertaining to hazardous materials cleanup and recovery of costs.
Motion made by Councilman Took. Second by Councilman Euler. A roll call vote here. Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilman Cardon.
Yes.
And Councilman Took.
Yes.
C is approved. Takes us to item 9, discussion proposed changes to City Code 728070, airport operations, board makeup, duties, etc. Mr. Christian G. Anderson. Not G.
Make up these initials.
Sorry.
We'll forgive you this time.
Sorry, Dave. Sorry.
David.
It's on a roll.
It's G. Anderson.
It's usually G. Anderson.
David,
I knew you were
David
going.
G. Anderson.
Before we get into what's on the agenda title, brief update. Councilman Cardon touched on this, an update on landing fees. If you go to the next slide, Jack. So here's a look at the fee schedule. It's broken down by weight, which is what's typically seen at airports that assess landing fees. And if you go to the next slide. Oh, I do. Nice. Looking at, again, this was implemented starting August 1st.
Don't push that button.
And so this is 2 weeks of data that we're looking at, and these are rough numbers. At the end of each month, we'll cycle through the data, make sure that the bills are assessed properly, and then send out those bills through the contractor that we've selected through RFP. So looking at the different aircraft weights, the light GA aircraft under 5,000 pounds in that first 2 weeks have brought in roughly $3,800 of revenue. The medium size aircraft, which are 5,000 to 12,500 pounds, $295, and then the large aircraft, just over $1,000, bringing the total to roughly $5,000 for the first 2 weeks of having these fees in effect. And there's been a lot of questions about impact on the number of operations we've been having at the airport because of these fees. In that first 2 weeks, we've seen an 18.5% decrease in traffic at the airport.
You okay with that?
Yeah. Yeah, with how busy the airport is today, the revenue need is there. And then a side effect of that being a decrease in operations is a good thing for now.
Okay.
Generally, they're probably touch and goes.
Yep. Over 90% of our traffic is touch and go aircraft that are doing training operations at the airport.
I guess to that point, Christian, how much of that 18.5% do we think is touch and goes? Do we have a number? Can we really equate that?
I don't yet. At the end of the month, when we have a full picture of a first month of data, we'll have a better idea, but my gut feeling is probably 95% plus.
Got it.
With the system, though, to that point, you're going to have a lot more operational data than perhaps ever before, right? Because you haven't had this kind of detail. So we'll have far superior data about how how the airport's functioning, those that are using it, and how it's being used now better than perhaps ever before.
I think the key to that entire statement is how it's being used and who's using it.
Yeah.
It's being used.
Oh, yeah.
And the taxpayer shouldn't burden that usage, right? That usage should be paid by those that are using it, just like I have to pay for my gas. So I think this is a great place to put the responsibility on those users that are using the facility, and I think it's good. What you can. Is that in my head? Or is that happening? All right, there's some donuts in our future. I'm pretty sure that's in my head. I'm crazy. $130,000. If you think about what you can do with that on an annual basis at the airport, reinvest it in that. Every time someone touches down there, it's doing some sort of damage to that runway.
Yep. And
this is a good way of recouping that cost. So I applaud you for doing this. I'm sure it was a little bit painful when you went through it, but it's how a responsible person would manage a business. So thank you for that.
And if we don't quite touch, if we're like this far off and we just go?
We have camera systems, so you're good to go. Okay. No fee.
Mayor, if you're behind the stick of an airplane, we're in trouble.
Sometimes I get that close.
Moving on to the agenda item, looking at airport code, I've got a couple handouts for council members.
While Christian's handing this out, we've been doing a couple of things as we've looked at the makeup of the airport board, and as you can imagine, as the use explodes there, the number of residents that are using the airport as a percentage is getting smaller and smaller because we're adding so many hangars. They're coming from all over the valley, perhaps even a county or two away. And so the makeup of our board is getting harder and harder to fill just with Spanish Fork residents. So Christian and Corey and Christian and Chris Thompson and I, over the last 6 months, have talked about a few different options, and we want to just walk through that and get some feedback from you guys.
Yeah, so currently our code stipulates that we have 7 members on the board, 1 Spanish Fork City Council member, and at least 3 other residents of Spanish Fork City, and then an additional 3 airport patrons who reside within 25 miles of the airport. Challenges here, we had an airport board seat open up in 2024, and at that time did not have any qualified candidates that would show up to meetings consistently, actively be involved in meetings, decisions, votes, things like that. And so we placed a second city council member on the board, which still fit in our code requirements. And we have run into that in the past before this 2024 opening as well. For reference, we currently have 134 hangars located at the airport, and 12% of hangar owners live in city residents, in city limits. Typically, we try and pick an airport board member that is a hangar owner. That way, they are kind of significantly invested in the airport and the future of the airport, and have more of an incentive to be on the board and make decisions and be involved. And so, with that small of a percentage of residents owning a hangar, it makes that candidate pool really small. And again, we do have a lot of great residents. There are challenges there again. A lot of the times these residents are business owners at the airport, which can create conflicts of interest with different votes that the airport board or recommendations that the airport board makes. They're not invested in the hangar, as in they're not a hangar owner or an active user of the airport. And again, they're not positioned to provide active and meaningful input in board discussions and decisions. So overall, we've put before you, in order, 3 proposals that have been talked about from Chris Thompson, with discussions with him and Seth, and then Corey. and then kind of a recent code change proposal that would re-outline the purpose of the board, how the members are to fill those positions and things like that. So the proposal number one, which is the top proposal that was handed out, was the original proposal that Seth and Chris Thompson and I started talking about probably 8 months ago. And in this change, it officially adds an additional city council to the airport board. It changes the board composition to 2 city council members, the public works director, and then 4 local airport patrons, and then changes that requirement to those 4 local airport patrons to be within 25 miles of the airport. Proposal number 2 officially adds an additional city council member to the airport board. It defines the board composition, again, of 2 city council members. The public works director would serve as an alternate for a city council member, and then 5 citizen members, mostly Spanish Fork city residents. Up to 2 may live within 25 miles outside of Spanish Fork. It gives the city council the authority to remove members at any time without cause, and then it clarifies the board duties with advising the mayor and council on the airport needs, budget, development, planning, and other delegated responsibilities. And the last and third proposal, this would change what is currently in 7.28 boards, commissions, and committees, and it would, over the next several months, remove 7.12 city airport, and that would be changed, and a new Title 11 would be added to the city code. This Title 11 has been approved by the airport board in our recent board meeting, and in upcoming city council meetings will move on to city council for a final vote. Specifically, though, the 7.28 would stay out of Title 11 and remain within boards, commissions, and committees. In this proposal, the makeup of the board would be 2 council members, 5 local airport patrons that reside within 25 miles, with no specific restriction on how many city residents need to be on the board. And then it also outlines clear roles advising on development, leases, safety, budget, and community engagement. It also establishes a mission statement for the board with an overview of that, ensuring safe, efficient, and sustainable airport operations. So based on these 3 proposals that have kind of been an evolution over the last 8 to 9 months, we are ultimately looking for feedback from the council on the makeup of the airport board and their duties and what that looks like in the code. And we plan to return in the future with a final document.
Maybe a clarification. This document is something we would propose regardless, right?
Yes.
To update
Yep.
728. And so this isn't necessarily a question, although there certainly can be some things added or taken away from this. We think this is a good step forward in providing some clarity to how the airport board functions, its duties and responsibilities, gives them kind of this is my job, and they can stay in that lane and do it really well. I think we're really focused on, as he says, that structure of board and welcome any dialogue and feedback, trying to get a board that can function, give good advice on how things go, because none of us in this room are really airport operators or airport experts. Recognizing that in the end, that body is advisory, so they're not going to be making decisions. Those decisions will come back to you. So, yeah.
Questions, comments about this? We've got Councilman Cardin and Councilwoman Beck sitting on the airport board right now, right?
I think that if we do adopt something that if you go back one page, Christian, if we adopt something similar to this where we are saying that they can be local airport patrons within 25 miles, my suggestion would be to do what was proposed in the first proposal, is where there's 2 city council members and the director of public works, and then 4 members of the local patrons of the airport. What I think that does is it gives a good conversation and maybe a balance of conversation from an interest of those at the airport, those patrons. There's still 4 of them, right? And then there's also that city representation. My biggest worry is that because it is a Spanish Fork entity, is that we lose that Spanish Fork touch at the airport. Obviously, understanding that only 12% of our hangars are used by Spanish Fork residents. However, it still has our name on it. It's still our responsibility. It's important that we. It's vital that we have a huge say in what's going on there. So that's where I think I'd be okay if it's local patrons within the 25 miles. But I do think that if we're doing that, I think 3 of those members should be made up of the 2 city council members and the public works director.
Let's change it from 5 to 4.
Yeah.
I would support that one.
You have an issue with that, Christian?
Nope. That's great feedback. If there's any other questions that come to mind after this meeting as well as we rework this code, I'm welcome to emails, calls, anything from council members.
So if I'm hearing what you said, I feel like that's proposal number 1. Sorry.
Remember what
proposal
one
number
said?
not slide 1. Yeah, you did exactly what I said. I apologize. This is what you were saying.
Yeah.
Right. In terms of the board makeup?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been easier just to say proposal number 1.
But by the time we got to proposal 3, I'd forgot what proposal 1 was. So.
He thinks it's his own proposal.
I see.
And also, I made it up.
Brilliant,
I don't want to give Seth the credit that they had already tried to figure out, or Christian, or whomever.
This is Christian.
Okay, if it was Christian's, we'll give it to Christian.
I really like Jesse's idea. I think we should
Thank you,
really
Councilwoman
consider
Beck.
that.
Christian, I'm just curious, where did and it's probably been there for a while, but how is 25 miles determined?
We see a lot of our airport users come from neighboring cities. Past Orem, we typically don't have a lot of hangar owners or people, at that point, they're going to the Provo Airport, they're going to Heber, they're going to South Valley. So that's kind of the bulk of our airport users, a 25-mile radius from the airport.
We measured it to Payson and said,
just to the
don't
border.
include Payson.
Well, Payson's well within the 25 miles, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
I took a shot.
I'm not gonna test out.
Up the shot.
Okay, so this is just a discussion item, so we aren't making any decisions tonight. But the direction I'm hearing from you is to bring back an ordinance that would change the makeup of the board to look like this proposal here. And then when we do that, wherever that document went, that has the language and duties and whatnot. If you'll look at that, if you've got any feedback, any adds or takeaways from there, we'd welcome that. And I think we could bring this back at the next council meeting for their approval, if you guys are good with that. And we'll bring the board makeup bond. We'll bring the board makeup and these tweaks to the code, and then it's the code, so we can always make changes if you want, later if we don't get it right the first time. But
I also like the clarity of what we're asking the board to do and what the focus should be. I think it's really good.
Yeah, it's important to get this board right and up and running before you're about to. You're doubling, in size, and as soon as those are occupied, I don't know what the time frame is on those being occupied, but they sure look like they're getting close.
Yeah, we're looking at maybe October at the earliest, maybe.
Yeah.
One other thing, Christian, Seth, it might be wise of us to also think of what still an alternative for those 3 members that are representing the city, because if we're adding the public work director into that board, that does take the alternative out, or the alternate out. So we might want to think about that.
And I know historically the public works director's position has been a very busy position.
Correct.
So being able to get the public works director consistently to meetings can be difficult.
Right. So we might want to.
Yeah, we could get or designee if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However we work that.
I'm fine with that too. I think what I'm hearing is you want that balance. You want to make sure that as the board is deliberating, that they are looking at issues from an airport operations standpoint, but not forgetting the Spanish Fork approach.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
And that's helped, at least, and Councilwoman Beck, if I'm speaking incorrectly, please correct me. But as we were talking about landing fees, I think this was pivotal to our conversations, because there were things that there's no way I could have understood by not being a pilot. So, but also from a financial side, from the city, understood that side much more pertinently, right? So we could give maybe a different opinion than what was there. So we were able to kind of come with a good balance, I felt like.
Right.
Copy that.
Thank you, Christian. Anything else for Christian?
Thanks, Christian. You do a great job.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Christian. You should have put a plug in there for Wings and Wheels, Christian.
Yep.
It's coming up. We got another council meeting before that, right?
We do. Get your tickets now.
Yep. Takes to item 9, discussion item, proposed changes. Oh, excuse me. We just
That's
did
it.
that.
We're done. Yeah.
Yep. Do we have closed session?
Yep.
We do. I'm ready. You ready for a motion?
Anything else before we adjourn to closed session?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I move to adjourn to close meeting to discuss the strategy sessions, to discuss pending reasonably imminent litigation, and to discuss the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of an individual as provided by Utah Code annotated 52-4-205. I think I read that right. In the Explorer Room.
Motion made by Councilman Cardin.
Second.
Second by Councilman Took to adjourn to closed session. Roll call vote here. Councilman Took.
Yes.
Councilman Cardin.
Yes.
Councilman Euler.
Yes.
Councilwoman Beck.
Yes.
And Councilman Marshall.
Yes.
We're adjourned to closed session. Thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.